Well, let's see here. There's kind of a lot to show, so I'll start. This is for Module 7. I'm just going to start by showing sort of how the LMS is shaping up here. This is my algebra class page. One new thing I'm trying here is this color coding. In this assignment column, all of the things that we'll do each day, some of them will be together, some will be on your own, some will be formative assessments, and some will be tests, just to help the kids maybe separate those things in their minds. I'm trying the color coding. It might just be too much on this page. You can let me know what you think. They also have an assignment tracker, which I'll show you at the end after I go through this stuff, so you can see that they'll be keeping track of the actual assignments they do individually on a separate tracker, and they'll rate their understanding on that. So the main features, I guess, the initial components that you'll see me go through with the kids here at the beginning are the submissions. I have the first couple things here, and then the course elements here. I have Khan Academy there because I think I'm going to use that this year for some skills work on basic adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing with positive and negative numbers, and working with fractions. That's going to be a recurring station in my room, so that's why that's there. And then, like you see here, each unit I have, this is basically functions as my calendar. The unit shows from start to finish, rather than by week or by month. They can see how the whole unit lays out, and it's chunked by week as far as the little blocks here. And each of these links here on the left would show the different unit modules. And the other ones are just getting started. They're basically laid out, but I have a lot I need to add to them. I've been working here on Unit 1. So the first office mix I made is this one. The purpose of this first mix was twofold. The first part was to have the kids do their first homework assignment, which was to complete a survey here under the submissions area, and they get that first survey submitted. Then the second thing is to send me an email, so they would accomplish two things. It helps me know how they're navigating around J2 Learn and with their email, and it also gives me input on these two questions here, what they think makes a good math class and what their biggest concerns are about the class. So, and then there's a little question about how well they like office mix too. So that gives me a little input there at the start. This next activity isn't really a formative assessment, but it's a way for me to gather information about them. They're going to make a s'more for me with at least one picture of themselves and showing me things they're interested in and just what these kids are about. So let's see. This analyzing histograms is my next formative assessment. I mean, there'll be ongoing formative assessment constantly, but this is just a little one where this is supposed to be blurry because I wanted them to find their own notes, but I wanted to show them what they looked like so they could find them. And then there's just a few questions here for them. All open-ended so that I could see how they're able to describe their thinking, explain themselves, things like that. So the next couple of featured formative assessments are this is in the class notebook, so they'll take it from the content library, put it into their own notebook. And this one is just a little teeny bit of personal research I want them to do before we start talking about these measures of central tendency. So I want them to look them up or use their own knowledge if they already know it, and sort of define them in their own words. Make sure they include when it would be best to use each one. And if they want to show any sort of pictures or images, that's fine too. So that's to help me know how they're defining these things, what they already know, what they're able to find out. And again, it also helps me assess how they're maneuvering their way around with these technology tools. Then the next formative assessment is this mini stats project that will be done in groups, and every group will have different roles assigned to the group members. And for this particular project, I'll look at their project on the group leaders notebook, so they'll ultimately build it all together on the group leaders notebook, or they might use a collaboration space by group number. That might work too. So this is where basically the stats work will be done with GeoGebra, but the assessment is on their analysis of the graphs and the data and how they can make that useful and explain themselves. So they get to decide who they're presenting it to. These are a bunch of test scores for kids. So are they talking to other kids who want to get in the class, or a teacher, or a principal, or a parent, whatever? And then they're going to write about what they observed between the two classes. And they're going to use some of their vocabulary from the unit. And I guess that's about it. So as always, it's a work in progress, and this is just a starting place for this year. And thanks for taking a look at it and letting me walk you through it, and I welcome any input you have.